Now the only weird thing is the one end zone's under construction, which is it would have been nice to see it finish, but that's next year. All right. So as far as the game goes,
the only other thing under construction was Missouri passing game.
Yeah. Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barber, and with me is Jeff Dover, and let's talk football.
We're a couple of average football fans that watch college and NFL. We're currently here on our Missouri-Kansas City road trip. We hope we can earn your like and subscribe today. This is our review of the Bama-Missouri game. What are your initial thoughts?
Missouri is a bit of a hidden gem. That campus was super nice. The people were nice. The setting was great.
Yeah, it was.
The stadium was awesome.
Yeah.
Everything about it was really nice.
No, it was. This is our first road trip on our Saturday versus Sunday podcast, and we went to Missouri-Bama game. We're going to the Kansas City Chiefs-Detroit Lions game tonight. And you never really know. Like, I haven't gone to too many road games. We were both at Florida. Saw a lot of the Florida home games, but I haven't gone to many road games. And so this was good. It was a really good SEC environment. It was a really good game.
Yeah, kudos to all the people. That everyone was great. The crowd was great. It was now the only weird thing is the one end zone's under construction, which is it would have been nice to see it finish, but that's next year. All right. So as far as the game goes,
the only other thing under construction was Missouri passing game.
Yeah, that game needs a bit of work. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Missouri's run game was still there, which if you've been paying attention to Missouri this year, you kind of expect them to be able to run the ball. And even against Alabama, they could. It was a grind. Every now and then they'd pop a big run, but it was the pass game. Bama's defense just had him. And I think Prbula, from what I could tell, he couldn't quite see the field as well as you'd hope he would. And there was at least 3 or 4 times where you could tell there was an open receiver. The whole crowd was shouting, and he just couldn't see the open receiver. And a couple of them could have been like game changing plays where it was like an easy touchdown that he just didn't see it.
Yeah, no, he never looked comfortable in the passing game. He had a lot of pressure. Bama didn't have a lot of sacks or tackles for a loss, but whatever their defensive scheme was really working because Prbula never looked comfortable. They had one of their touchdowns came on a short field with a turnover
right out of the halftime. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but you're right. He's in passing wise, never looked good. And most of the yards they got passing, like at the box score, it looks pretty even at the end of the game. But most of those yards came in the fourth quarter, just in a couple of Hail Mary passes that were completed. But it was really, that was what explained most of the game was that he couldn't get the passing game wasn't very good.
No, and you're right. It's not like Alabama was creating a lot of havoc. They sacked him a couple of times, but it was there was a lot of pressure. He didn't look comfortable in the pocket.
No.
They kind of got him out of the pocket pretty quickly. And when he was off script, there was 2 or 3 opportunities to make a huge play, and he would take the under route instead of the over route. And at least once in the first half, when they forced him out of the pocket, there was a guy running down the sideline wide open for a touchdown. He didn't see it at all, and he just threw the check down.
Yeah.
And a couple of times that happened, and those could have been the differences in the game. I mean, still a 3-point game, and they had the ball with a minute and a half to go to tie.
Yes.
So they belong on the field with Alabama. Let's say
that's a good point too, because that was something else we talked about because we weren't sure. When you one of the advantages of physically going the game is you can literally see everyone on the field. You can see the size, the speed, the strength, and in live time, and Missouri looked like they belonged on the same field. Like they had just as many athletes as Alabama did, and it just couldn't quite get it done. Just another blast point too about the offense and the passing game. The number 2 for Missouri, the Johnson, was notably upset, like on the field, like multiple times, where he really felt like he was open. Now receivers do that a lot. Receivers feel like they're open for a lot of things, but he was noticeably upset and was really gesturing a lot for him not getting the ball. So I think that was he spoke to everyone's frustration about not moving it better.
Yeah, on the final play that I guess he threw to the wrong person, which was an interception, which I guess ended the game. Johnson threw his helmet, he went to the sidelines at least, and then he tossed his helmet down because I think he realized Prbula missed an open receiver that could have kept the game alive.
Yeah,
I don't even think it was him. Or maybe it was him. Either way, there was 2 different seam passes he could have thrown to, and he threw to the covered one, and the open one was the other side of the field.
Yeah.
So, and that was just, I mean, good on the Bama defense for obviously confusing him because he hadn't looked this. It never looked this difficult so far this year for him to find an open receiver. But man, this game, it just was not there. And obviously, Missouri's been leaning heavily on the run game all year. So 163 yards isn't nothing. but they needed more than just that, and the bit they got through the air just wasn't enough. I mean, again, they had the ball.
Yep.
Three down by 3, a minute and a half to go. So it's not like they got blown off the field. And this was going to be, well, as the first quarter was going by, you thought it was going to be a shootout. I mean, they went straight down the field and scored.
Yeah.
And that was the only time it looked easy. And then the whole rest of the game, it was a slog. But then they were doing that right back to Bama. Like they were stopping them pretty effectively in the second half. It was, like I said, it was just became a back and forth game. And, they just couldn't quite finish it off at the end there.
Yeah. The other note that I had here is that if you lose the turnover battle 2-1 and the time of possession was 38 minutes to 21, that's going to be tough to win that one too. So even that's what it really felt like watching it. It really felt like Bama was in more control than Mizzou was, even though Mizzou had a chance to win it at the end. It really did feel like Bama was controlling the game from the get-go.
Well, and Bama, yes. Yeah. And they had a few possessions there where Missouri didn't have the ball for very long. Then Bama held it for a long time. Then Missouri was 3 and out, and then 6 plays and out. And it was just their defense was stuck on the field for so long.
Yes.
And a couple of those drives got early in the game, got extended with penalties. And I remember by the third Bama possession, I'm thinking, man, Missouri's defense has been on the field most of the game here.
Yes.
It was pretty bad. Like halfway through the second quarter, the time of possession was way out of whack, and it never recovered after that.
Yeah, no. And the other last point I have here about Missouri was that they went 1 for 10 on third downs. And so that's going to be tough. That's really what it felt like. It just wasn't clicking on offense, and they weren't, getting it, moving the ball enough in order to make it more, entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, and so they were hanging around. I mean, Bama pretty much outplayed them. Just after the first drive, they outplayed them because Missouri went straight down the field, but then Bama answered straight down the field. Now, even on that opening Bama drive, there was 35 yards in Missouri penalties. And Missouri had them deep in their own territory on a tackle for a loss on third down, and they took a penalty on that play. And that gave Bama the first down of 15 yards, and then another 15-yard penalty on that drive, and then a 5-yard penalty, a whole defensive holding. So out of 78 yards, 35 of them were penalties.
Yeah.
And then that started. I mean, maybe the whole game could have been different if they'd have just got off the field in that one drive. I mean, the people we were sitting with were like, I wonder if this game could have been completely different if they got off the field.
Yeah.
Because then that just breathed life into Alabama right away after just Missouri just marched right down the field on that first drive. And then that started the time of possession thing in Bama's favor. And they got the score got close, but it always felt like they were always chasing.
Yes.
Just always chasing.
Yeah. No, they're always chasing. And just the last thing that I had here about that early start, because it was an 11 a.m. kick local, which was relatively early. And it didn't seem like Bama was quite ready at the get-go to get going. And that's when Missouri went down, because that's the best, to your point, that's the best their offense looked all game, was that first drive. And then ever since then, it was just a slog.
And then coming out of the half, like we said, they got they immediately turned Bama over deep in their own zone and then got a touchdown. So they tied the game right there, and it looked like they had all the momentum. Then they forced a punt on Alabama.
Yep.
But then Bama came right back out and forced a 3 and out on Missouri. And that's where you're realizing, come on, like, we've got it. It's just the offense, just to your point, the offense just wasn't clicking. And when the momentum was there for them to keep it, their offense couldn't keep it. And then Bama goes up by a field goal, and then they go up by 10, and that's like when Bama just keeps stretching the lead, and then it turns into the desperation in the fourth quarter, and they just couldn't close the gap, even though it was on the table, but it was too little, too late.
Yeah. No, but it was a great environment, and that was and thanks again to the people we got the tickets from, because we actually sat beside them. Right, it was 2 tickets right beside them, so they were super nice. So thanks again for that. But no, I'm glad we went to it. It was a good game, and we got another good one coming up tonight.
All right, so what can we say about both teams here?
Well, I think Missouri, let's see, both teams. So Bama's in a good position. They're 3-0 in the SEC. They're looking good to go to the SEC championship game, and this was beating a ranked team on the road is not nothing. So I think that if you're a Bama fan, you're pretty happy with how things went, how your defense was able to hold a good team to not much, and so I think you're pretty happy about that.
Yeah. Yep. You made a couple of mistakes in this game. You were in this game.
Yep.
I'd say right now, Bama might be number one in the SEC.
Yep. Maybe.
Moment. So you hung in there with Alabama. You've only got one SEC loss. So everything's still in front of Missouri too. They can, I think one loss in SEC play
doesn't eliminate you.
Doesn't eliminate you.
No.
Doesn't, neither for the SEC championship game or the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So everything's on the table for both teams. And
both teams play a lot of ranked teams left.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
it was just a tough game. It was just a good game.
Yeah.
Good game.
No, it was really good.
Two good teams. All right. I don't know. You got everything on your list?
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being here. We know our channel's small. We just started it last year, so we hope we managed to earn a like and a subscribe. And if you think someone would like this video, maybe share it with them. So for Jeff Dover, I'm John Barber, and that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.